Okay, looks like we're going to get started here. Let me share this with Instagram, and this is a live broadcast sharing with Facebook. And I want to make sure our members are notified. So let me push that real quick. Let me share this with Instagram, and I gotta close those windows. So this is gonna be a live, interesting conversation. Wait a second. Yeah, looks like I shut all those windows, and looks like we're getting ready to rock and roll, baby. Yeah, there we go. Looks like it's done. We got lights, we got camera, we got action. Sounds like we got some wind outside. All right. Okay, we're live and everything's going good. Looks like we let me see if Connor's site's going. Let me know. Thank you, Connor. That helps so much. So we got it going on, and thank you guys for joining us as we're going to be talking about the reptilians. Okay? The truth about reptilians. Okay, and so I uncovered it through these Emerald Order teachings. So this is not something I made up or I did research. This is something that is coming from a huge tome of spiritual knowledge called the Emerald Order teachings, aka Freedom teachings, aka innerchristos, a law of one. And so we're talking about a lifetime of work it would take to actually study it all, to comprehend it all. And it's not as if you need to know it all. Okay? So, but this is something that's revealed in these Voyager's books. There's Voyager's book 1 and Voyager's book 2. Right away, start talking about aliens. Start talking about Zeta Gray insectoids, the Reptilians, Anunnaki aliens. But tonight, we're going to be focusing on those lizards, Dracos, Dracon, Odedicrons, Dragon Moths, Omicron, Machiwa, are coming out of the gold flame. Okay, that is a metaterrestrial collective. They're eternal gestalts outside of polarity. So they're benevolent beings serving the true intention, the real intention of God. And so they created the races, and they were all peaceful ones. Okay, so these reptilians were good once, but then they fell. And there's different families, different species of reptilians. So people get in the habit of just saying reptilians. But which ones? Thank you for that, Holy One. And so we're going to be going into the detail of which ones, who they are, where they're coming from, what their agendas are, from the Emerald Order perspective, not from Anuhazi's point of view, not from religion, of course, not from the distortions that are in the New Age. So I welcome all of you. Let me say hello to my live participants holding space with us tonight. We got Monster Quinn coming from Quebec, Canada. I never knew that about you, sister. At least I never saw you say that. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, Canada. M. Lord, so 6. Greeting, Holy One. Danny, hey brother, what's up? And you guys can tag me. Do you know what tagging means? If you want to leave a message, or I meant question, just tag me. So in your message somewhere, Christos avatar, so it will highlight and I can easily see it a mile away, right? Thank you, Connor, brother. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Rebel Jedi. I'm good, Holy One. How are you, young Jedi? Or old soul, right? Mr. Bandism in the house. Machiwa, Holy Ones. Machiwa. Good evening, Laurie Nixon. Good evening, all. Peace and much love. A lot of people in this community are very loving, kind, friendly, peaceful. And it's beautiful to be in presence of your guys' company. My Chiwa sister Celine. Grateful to Sister Celine for helping with our community as being a moderator, making sure we don't have trolls spoiling our frequency, right? We don't want to plummet down here because of some troll. So thank you, sister, for being here. Giannis in the house. Someone's been learning the Guardian materials. Giannis means ascended master in Lyran Anuhazi language. Welcome, 1111. Alan Raza, yo. Susie Wilson, hello all. Look at that, many frequencies and vibrations. I like your variety. I like that one heart emoji, the first one. I've never seen that before. And what's with this cat one? Or this little, oh my gosh, this little halo angel? So I just want to save that for later. I have a page, or, you know, I told you about my notes. I have so many notes, and so one of my notes is emojis. One of them out of many, right? No, not spreadsheets, notes. Why is it so hard? It's not hard, Google. Just go to Sheets, Bato. Dang, right? Okay, so I just posted that in. I'll look at it later. Okay, thank you so much for that. I think that's cool. One of our forms of communication and online media, right? Machiwa, Giannis. Machiwa, Sarah. Good to see you, Sarah. And Free White Dove, Christian Garcia, Green Tara, Jason P. All right, you guys. Looks like we got it started. Hopefully Indigo Wizard or Little Alien will join us. And so, yeah, thank you, Mr. Medizum. You got some unique emojis too. I've never seen the other one like this. Okay, I'll continue. So thank you guys for being here tonight. This is a big, you would say, factor in what's going on in the world, in the human drama. Reptilians are a major factor. Even, you would say, they've become even bigger factor than the Anunnaki. Now, the Anunnaki aren't gone. They didn't leave and go somewhere else to pester, but they're still here. They're just not as in much as power as the reptilians have become. And so they're both messing with us, right? But tonight's topic is going to be about the reptilians. And of course, you guys, I'll say right away that there is positive reptilians. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're never. I've always said that there is positive ones and mostly negative ones, though, because as a race they fell. Okay, let's say Americans became a socialist government like the Chinese Republic or something, or like, you know, something with more of a dictatorship. It is still a dictatorship, but just not how we think. But anyways, there would be some Americans that would not go to that, you know? So just like the reptilians, they fell as a people, but some groups, some families of consciousness there would stay positive. And there will always be positive higher guardian reptilians, by the way. And so we're talking about the 14th dimension. That is the meta-terrestrial group that created the reptilian race called the Seraphi. So the Seraphi guardians will always be positive in that way, but just realize that the reptilians as a race made a decision. Now there was some division amongst them, like the Adetacrons, which are winged reptilians, a real thing. Have you've ever heard of gargoyles? That's an example of a winged reptilian. So this is something that we'll talk about that drama, that information tonight. They actually didn't want to fall like what was happening with the reptilians and Anunnaki clashing. And so there was actually a decision done by the Guardians to protect these Odedicrons, which would, but we'll go more into that. So thank you guys for being here as we talk about this drama, okay, unfolding in our ascension process. We're trying to awaken, but it's being stifled. It's being limited, or you would say distorted. Okay, and so it is an active thing. These are ancient beings. They're even more ancient than the human race. So they were created a long time ago. And so what you have to realize is in most of the mainstream information that you're getting about reptilians is a distortion. A lot of you have to realize that these fallen angels are actively distorting religious beliefs, distorting New Age beliefs, guiding what they want you to follow and believe and, consider truth. And so that's why some people are going to trigger to this information, because they're stuck in those distorted paradigms coming from what the Guardians themselves call the New Age channeling movement. It's a movement. And the Reptilians have created something called the UFO movement. So there's two movements of distortion out there. And so think about it. The bad guys pretend to be good guys. The bad guys will throw false information out there. So now it gets confusing. There's true information mixed with a bunch of fake information. Sounds like the Bible. And you combine it, and now you think it's truth because you sense truth, because there is some truth, but it's half truths, or even less than half. It's 80, 20, 90, 10%. So this is something that's a tactic used by the fallen beings. And so it becomes confusing. What's real? What's truth? At the end of the day, it all comes down to personal discernment. What is your resonance? Check information, learn much as you can about it that you're interested in, and see if it speaks truth to you. Nobody can tell you what's truth and what's not. Okay? So, but realize that there is God's eternal sacred truth. It's called divine right order. There is divine right order, and that which is not divine right order is distortion. This word distortion is a big thing in the law of one. Okay? What is distortion? So we mean as in not the original. Anything that's not the original or just some of the original, it's a distortion. And so there is divine right order. That is God's original creation, original intentions. And the beings who are in the reality fields, the different levels of dimensions and matter form, they are distortions themselves because of the original. Because the original are non-polarized. The beings, the extraterrestrials, are polarized. That's us, including us. We're an extraterrestrial race. We're called the Terahertz Angelic human race. And so we're not angelic down here, but up there at the higher levels of ourselves, of our species, is angelic. That's our roots. That's our race identity. And we can claim that race identity through learning this true history. Like tonight will be part of your reclaiming your history, your identity. So let me light some incense. Because think about this, you guys. Mainstream science and religion say that we're only, 5, 6, 7,000 years old. Some say up to 10,000. But that's basically the cap of what most people believe. Excuse me. That's basically the limit of our ideas of the history of the our current human race, which is a distortion with the Homo sapiens. There's a distortion in science regarding it. Just like we think that Neanderthals and Cro-Magnons are part of our evolution, that's a distortion. And according to the Guardians, that's an intentional distortion. You're being fed false, you would say, half-truths in science and religion. So you're not getting the full truth. And so the guardian angelic nations, imagine that there is guardian beings who are not in distortion. That's who the guardians are. They're beings coming from the non-distorted levels of reality, because there is distorted levels and there's non-distorted levels where there is no polarity, there is no, you would say, downstep, because when consciousness up there projects down here, it's a downstep. Okay, this concept is talked about in the Voyager's books. Okay, a downstep, a step down from the original frequency. If this frequency slows down, it's a distortion of that higher frequency. And if this frequency slows down even more, it's a worse distortion of the original. It's a half-truth, a partial truth of the full truth of the full code. Because we talk about the particle mechanics, the ultra-micro-particle mechanics. We talk in these teachings, you're going to learn scalar mechanics, Stargate mechanics, ascension mechanics, creation mechanics, okay? Blueprint, divine blueprint science. And so, and you will see how that is the macrocosm that can be applied to your body as a microcosm of that. And so there is science taught here. Not all of it is acknowledged by science yet. You realize that science learns more and more and more, expands its paradigm, and they're way behind the Guardians, obviously. So this is something that you can learn by going into the Cathara teachings. Okay, Cathara 1 is what we want to start with, and you'll learn about the unified field structure, and we're going to show that tonight on a diagram, because you really can't understand tonight's topic, or what I mean is you really can't understand completely what a reptilian is until you see the unified field. And so let me go back here. We have celestial presentia, Christos avatar. We are on the same wavelengths. Yes, we are. As star seeds and indigos are working from the same source. So it is the true intention, not a distortion. We connect to the guardians, non-distorted beings. So we are on that wavelength. So we're trying to bring that wavelength in. So thank you for that. I have also uncovered the reason why I'm having these neck and shoulder and head pains, and the doctors say, yeah, the doctors don't know. The doctors are practicing 3D science. Okay, when the teachings are about 12th dimensional science. We learn about you would say they call them scalar, you would say, well, let me check here, 1 second. They're called scalar standing waves. And so each dimension is going to have a different rhythm, a different scalar standing waves pattern. And so we're talking about the 12th dimensional scalar wave pattern, consciousness, body form, matter, which is called the Christ or Christos. The Guardians call it Christos. And so we're trying to bring that into our consciousness here in the 3D. Imagine walking, talking, holy Christos avatars walking on earth. Even if it's just a portion of that consciousness. When most consciousness on earth is 3D consciousness. Okay? Which is what? Dimensions 1, 2, and 3 consciousness. That's butt consciousness, growing consciousness, and ego consciousness. Not very enlightened. The human race that are stuck in 3D consciousness chose with their free will. All of their thoughts, all of their actions up to this point, they haven't gone beyond 3D still? Okay, that's what these guardians, I meant star seeds and indigos are trying to bring in. We're coming from those levels, coming to the earth drama, and teaching about the reptilians, the truth about the reptilians, the truth about the Anunnaki. Because they come from that level. The Guardians know because the Guardians are there. The Guardians have dealt with these beings at those higher levels. And so, we're going to be talking about those higher levels first. Let me get through these questions. Oh, the Jehovah's seals, yeah. Your doctors are not going to know about the Jehovah's seals or the 666 crucifixion. Machiwa. Right? They're stuck in the 3D science. And think about it. Their medicine does not work. Their medicine, when you have an established medical system that makes it illegal to talk about cures. If you didn't know that, the FDA makes it illegal. The Federal Drug Administration makes it illegal to claim anything as a cure. So now people can't say there's cures. What the F is that nonsense, right? So now, there you go. They're not going to know. They're not trying to heal you. They don't have medicine that heals you. All they have is something that keeps you on their drugs and pharmaceuticals. It's all about billions and trillions of dollars. That's what that is about. Not about, and it's another red flag, another sign when they're heavily censoring people talking about healing medicines, healing teachings, technologies. Okay, they will censor it in Wikipedia. They'll censor it in websites and that are publishing videos. They'll censor channels. They censor what actually goes out. That means they're keeping tabs. They're looking and making sure it's within their control. They'll keep things within their control systems. And so it's the same with the reptilian information. They're keeping the reptilian information. They make it, you guys, I've been doing, since I'm a content creator, I became aware of these things. Let me bring this up. You guys know what hashtags are. There's certain hashtags that are censored. They don't allow these hashtags. Did you know they don't allow hashtag UFO? They don't allow the hashtag UFOs. You can't find those hashtag pages. Those hashtag pages, go check and see what they are. It will say this page does not exist. Hashtag reptilians. So I have to use the hashtag reptilian. I can't add an S. As soon as I add an S, it won't be seen. Lizard people. Oh, why would lizard people hashtag be censored? Okay, UFO sightings is censored. Anything with the word UFO, basically, anything with, they're trying to keep it from the public. So I could do a screenshot and show you guys, but I don't need to spend time doing that in tonight's live. But you guys can check on your own if you want about those hashtags I just listed. Hashtag lizard people, hashtag reptilians, hashtag UFOs, doesn't matter. They don't allow it. They don't want people finding information about this topics. So they will put this video. I don't see it now yet, but when it's published and done, when I push publish, it's going to be, they're going to take out those hashtags. They're also going to put a Wikipedia article on my video debunking me. Debunking reptilians. Debunking lizard people. Notice I didn't put lizard people in the title because of that reason, but we're going to talk about lizard people. So, I got bit by too many mosquitoes today. Monster Quinn. I did a lot of chores. That's great, Holy One. I don't know if it applies to today's topic, but thank you for sharing. If everyone posted all their personal daily life stuff, the chat would be full of, non-related information, right? I prayed, Celestial, I prayed to my higher self and the guardians about what was going on. That's not a question, so you guys don't need to attack me if it's not a question. Much respect. Yeah, on YouTube. Let me see if I can show you guys. Wait, that's not what the... YouTube. It's not YouTube. It's ChristosAvatar.com. What's up? That's strange. I'm trying to share a window and it won't show it. Why is that? Oh wait, I didn't go far enough down. Why is there so many windows open? Okay, so see, I just said I didn't want to take the time to do this, and now it's not showing me the page I want to see. So anyways, I don't want to spend time on that. So, but you guys can look it up. I'm talking about YouTube hashtags, yes. That is just mini videos. When I was doing ghost videos, they don't want you to show ghost videos. So they actually, there's a whole bunch of hashtags I would used to use, but I can't use anymore because they don't even show up because they don't allow it. Yeah, you're going to see videos of, Monster Quinn made a comment. I have seen a channel of a religious guy and his eyes click like a lizard with sharp teeth. So this is something people have reported seeing. When you start to activate your astral vision or your higher vision, you will see these. You would say what's happening is you're starting to perceive their true soul essence. Okay, they have a hybrid human body, but your astral vision can see the higher fourth dimensional frequencies. That means you can see what's outside of physical matter form. Okay? So that's one thing that people just generally don't understand. Why some people see UFOs and aliens and angels and spirit guides and why others can't is because of the chakra activations. When most humans are 1 through 3, butt, groin, and ego. It's actually called the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra. But the root chakra is right near your butt, your anus. And so that's all about survival. That chakra is about survival. That's the lowest level of consciousness, survival, where you're trying to eat and have shelter, for example. You're homeless, that's a chakra 1 problem. Right? That's an example of what I'm trying to say. And so most people are in the butt chakra consciousness. Some people are. And then there's the groin chakra, which sacral chakra. Sex on the mind all the time. You know, sex, survival, ego. That is 3D consciousness for you. So when you got beings outside of that, perceiving outside of that, that means they are actually activating these chakra, the soul level chakra. This is not the soul. This is not the Earth system. This is the Tara system. This is the density universe 2 system, the angelic system. This is the human system, angelic system. Then there's archangel system, avatar systems, and beyond. So, yeah, butt chakra. Leo, welcome Argentina. Glad to have you. You're very interesting time zone, probably, right? Yeah, so yeah, but anyways, you guys, so let's get into it. Wait a second, there was a couple more tags. See who else tagged me. Mr. Mandizum, Rumble. What is Rumble? I'll have to check it out. I don't know what that is. If it's a popular platform, yes. For example, when I started an account on Twitter, it ain't jack crap. We're talking about only hundreds of subscribers. It will only get, you have to actually, a lot of people actually pay to get more views. I won't do that. I'm not going to step down to that level. I'm going to just get organic traffic. And so I'll check out Rumble. Thank you for the idea. So that's what happens is people get tired of being censored on some of these platforms. You'll go to systems apparently like Rumble, or there's a site that I know of, a video platform site called BitChute, BitChute. That's another place where there's no censorship. And also Telegram. So when you're trying to find something, you can't find it, realize it's being censored, and that you'll immediately find it on these other non-censored platforms. So that's what's going on there. Alan, can you talk about how we're one with the fallen angels? Actually, we're not one with the fallen angels. I don't know where you got that from. That could be something you're learning in other video books or any content creators. So we're not one with fallen angels. That's a distortion. We haven't fell yet. Okay? The Guardians call planet Earth descending Earth. Notice the word descending, not descended. It's in the process of falling. It doesn't happen overnight. That's a process of years and years and thousands of years. So it's in the process of falling. I didn't mean to say thousands, maybe hundreds. 99. I claim that. 99 people right now online. Someone put that in chat. So we're not fallen angels, okay? But you could say individuals could fall in their consciousness and keep falling, fallen angel, into the phantom matrix. Okay, when you fall, you're going into self-destruction. You're annihilating yourself. Even though you're all about power, control, fear, shame, guilt, torture, suffering, affliction, it's all dark energies. Dark consciousness is you're falling from Creator. You're falling in your interest, your connection to Creator, I mean. You're falling in your memory. You're falling in your potential. Your literal DNA is getting smaller and smaller. If we talk about the high level being 12 strands of DNA, and there's fallen angels with only 11 strands, you can fall to 10 strands, fall to 9 strands, fall to 8 strands, fall to 7 strands, fall to 6, 5. Now what are you compared to what you were before? Fall to 4, astral. Fall to 3, ego. Fall to 2, elemental consciousness, plant or animal consciousness. Fall into the subatomic. That's everything that's tiny and small. That makes up the bigger things. So, and then you go into unconscious oblivion or space dust. Okay? It's a process of falling. That is what the Guardians call this process the path of chaos, which leads you, if you're following the path of chaos in your thinking, like these fallen angels, like these fallen reptilians, then you're falling into the phantom matrix. Planets can fall into the phantom matrix. There are many of these beings are coming out of the phantom matrix. And when we look at some of the reptilian different species, races, we're going to see what planets they're coming from. Okay? You'll see some of them are called phantom. Okay, so that means their planet fell. Their civilization, their people, whatever. This is why I made a video about karma. There's race karma. There's planet karma. You can see planets falling and races falling and individuals falling. Okay, so this is anti-life. That's what phantom is. It's reverse consciousness. Reverse from life. Take the word live. The living people. Living consciousness. Living spirit. L-I-V-E. What's the reverse of that? E-V-I-L. You're the opposite of Creator God. The opposite of life. You're against life. You vampire. They take life. They reclaim. They feed off of the living system. So some of these are the reptilian races who have fell, coming out of the reptilian system. Man, these are diabolical beings. And they're being worshipped because they pretend to be good guys, and now you're worshiping. In the movies, it's all about dragons. In video games, it's about dragons. You're getting dragon reptilian in the Vatican. You're getting dragon reptilian in your ideas and beliefs, and it's becoming part of your identity. Okay, when you got the Vatican, the Pope, so supposed to be a divine being connected to God, but he's in his chamber. It's called the Pope's audience chamber. Look it up. It's a reptilian, a snake. It's in the shape of a snake head. Look at it. It's undeniable. You see the snake eyes, the snake tongue, the snake nose, the snake scales. That's all in the Pope's audience chamber. It was infiltrated by the reptilians since Atlantis days. Not yesterday, not a long time ago, like hundreds of years ago. So the reptilians came here 1 million years ago, but let's talk about the beginning. Okay? So in the beginning, all races, okay, the founder races, all the founder races, that means the first founding races, the first races who went on to create other races. So there's the first ones. They were all created 950 billion years ago. That doesn't fit with Earth science understanding. There's a reaction to that. There's a trigger to that. As soon as I said that, to you, to a lot of people, that's impossible. I'm not making this up. This is part of a huge tome of information. This is the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. There is hundreds of workshops. Each workshop is several hours long. Like the Cathara workshop is 21 hours long, and that's one out of hundreds of workshops. When I say huge tome, it's a huge tome of knowledge. This is just a piece, this is just the introduction to it. This 600-page book, and we got other books, they're all just introduction to things like scalar mechanics, ascension mechanics, unified field physics, extraterrestrial races, the true history of human race, chakras, meridian lines, axiotonal lines, Hoover bodies. You're going to learn about myons, dions. You're going to learn particae, particae, particum. You're going to learn about all these. This is a spiritual science. Okay, it's the most advanced science on the planet. Maybe you've never heard of it before because it's because mainstream is following the distortions of New Age and religion. That's why you never heard of it before. Okay, that's why mostly it's Starseeds and Indigos who are interested in this inner Christos law of one information, what we call the Emerald Order teachings. And I gotta use my glasses when I type stuff. Once again, I lit my charcoal, but didn't put the incense down. I want to do something so simple, and I gotta put my glasses on. Whatever. MCEO. MCEO. I put that in chat. So, Alan Raz's question: are we fallen angels? No, we're not. We're not in the phantom universe. We're still in Earth. And there's a bunch of nonsense that the Anunnaki created. No, they didn't. So let me show you the 15-dimensional time matrix and answer Alan's question and show you the reptilians on the diagram. So let me bring that up in Photoshop. I think it's already up. Yeah, it's already up. So let me put that in OBS. Okay, cool. It worked. Sometimes it doesn't work. So, this is the 15-dimensional time matrix, God's hologram of matter. This is a spiritual science, man. There's science behind this. This is code, man. Just looking at this is code. There's a lot of frequency here, a lot of memory here, a lot of history here, a lot of information and data here. Okay, I use this to help teach. You can also get this diagram. If you become an avatar or higher member, you get this diagram. Or you can purchase it separately. If you don't want to become a member, I'll have Celine share that in the comments where to get it. This is only $15, but look at this. This is worth $15. You're going to learn all this information and data points from inner earth races to indigo children races, angelic human races, Anunnaki races, reptilian races, and the hybrid races, and something about inner earth, parallel earth. This is worth $15, you guys. It's excellent study tool. But anyways, this is the 15-dimensional time matrix, and we're in the lowest level called Density Universe 1. That's what DU stands for. Density Universe. There's 5 of them. Okay? Notice we're way down at the first one, the lowest one. And so this is not fallen. We're not fallen angels. This is another system, fallen angels. The phantom earth, the phantom universe, called the black hole subtime distortion cycle. That's what the Guardians call it. Religion calls it the bottomless pit, hell, or Hades. That's coming from Roman, right? Beliefs. And so this is where a lot of these beings are coming from. Not all of them, because some of them are still here in the particle universe. But humans are not fallen angels, just to let you know, brother. So anyways, what we got here is 15 dimensions of reality. And so we can go down. You can see there's different levels of consciousness, different levels of mind, and different levels of body. That's what this density universe is, levels of body. We go from carbon matter body forms. That's what science talks about as being life. They say that's the only thing that qualifies life. BS. This is what science doesn't know. There's different levels called carbon etheric matter, where we're immortal, carbon crystal bodies. Then there's a higher level called the etheric matter, crystal silicate. Okay, we're collectives, we're ghost-like. You keep on going to hydroplasmic prematter, liquid light, crystal liquid matter. So we're not even close to these higher levels. Okay, and so we are way down here. But when we go through spiritual ascension, you're going from the 3D. Remember, this is the butt chakra, the sacral chakra, and the ego chakra. So this is not what you're limited to. If you actually went on a spiritual journey, you'll learn and perceive, actually literally perceive. It doesn't require a savior. It doesn't require, to rapture or go to heaven. It doesn't require a middleman to God. Okay? It's simply you activating your heart chakra, going beyond the ego into the heart, into the archetype, into the soul level, into the angel level. These are the angel levels at the higher dimensions. Okay, so these are fallen angels when they're going against the Creator, going against the Guardians. They're dark oversouls, dark avatars, dark archangels and avatars. So this is a choice. These beings made their choice. They use free will. There's another diagram real quick. Let me bring that up since we're talking about fallen angels tonight. This is their creeds. This is what fallen angels do. Notice this is exactly what's in our belief systems. The modern day belief systems are based on false creeds, based on fallen angelic creeds. Fear is a fallen angelic creed. Notice Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, they use fear. Those are false gods, false creator gods, who use guilt, who use judgment, who have all these elitists. Hello, Illuminati. Okay, dark illuminated ones. The sexist patriarchal creed. That means you put down the female. You put down the divine feminine. That's polarity. Darkness, demons, fallen angels, fallen reptilians work in polarity. They want polarity. They don't want unity. They don't want you humans finding unity. So, and they bring subservience. They bring blind worship. They bring sacrifice. This is is what these creeds are, what we're talking about tonight, of these fallen angelic reptilian races. So we go back to this diagram. So, all right, so this is where we're going to get, let me fix it. It's trying to change my viewpoint here. So there's 15 dimensions, but we deal with dimensions 1 through 12. This is antimatter. This is the primal life field. So life really starts, manifestation starts in the 12th dimension and down. So when we really talk about the ET races, because look over here, these are extraterrestrials from actually, you can have ETs here, so, but other higher extraterrestrials are from here all the way to this density, and these are the metaterrestrials. They're not the same as extraterrestrials. So anything within the 12 dimensions is what we're talking about. And that's where you get the highest levels, is the 12th dimension is the highest level. There is no dark beings. Notice there's no red text here. There's nothing dark in the 12th dimension. This is the Christos avatars, the feline Anuhazi. Of course, any races, like any of these races, could graduate and ascend to the 12th dimension, but we're showing context of all the races and where they all started. And so it's dimension 11 where things start falling. Okay, you don't have any falling consciousness in 12th dimension and higher. That includes the guardians. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. This includes the guardians. They're marked as guardians because they're coming from non-polarized states. Okay, and so you'll see even in the Phantom Matrix in hell, it only goes up to the 11th dimension. Okay, so everything above the 11th dimension is divine, is sacred, is following the law of one, is unity, is an omni-love. That means love all. Anything below it is a distortion. That's where the word distortion comes from. When it's not divine right order, not the original intention of God, then it's a distortion. And so that's why, let's look on the other end. This is why you start getting fallen angelic races. Look who's look who's ruling the 11th dimension. Fallen angels. This race was originally good. They were called the Anu. You know, this is similar to what you say Metatron. Metatron is coming from here. They're a fallen race. So is the Thoth. It's a fallen race coming from here. It's specifically the Anunnaki races, which is a lower race than this one, but you're going to get all these famous beings like Enoch. Okay, these are races coming out of this family of consciousness. And let's look at what's also in the 11th dimension. The beings called Necromaton. These are a hybrid. Okay, they're beetle people. And I believe they're coming out of the Gold Flame too, but they got hybridized with other races, so they became a different race on their own. So this is kind of like a third faction, but that's what's in the 11th dimension. So these are the dark avatars of the 11th dimension: the Anu Elohim, the Jehovian Anunnaki, the Necromatons. They're the big baddies, the big badasses. Okay, tonight's topic though is the Reptilians. They're in the lower 10th dimension. That's where you get the first reptilian race. Let me check on chat. Looks like everything's okay. So this is dragon moths. They're dinoids. That means dinosaurs, reptilians, and partial insectoid. This is where the moth part comes in like insect wings. Not like your Game of Thrones dragon, but this is where they started. They're actually the ones who create the dragon race. See, they're in the 10th dimension, and they created a child race They created a race. These are creator gods, but not the creator, the original creator. They're beings who have the capability to create life, and project their consciousness into that life. The whole concept of souls is distorted. In religion, you don't understand what is a soul. People think you can lose your soul, sell your soul, trade your soul, whatever. It's nonsense. But this is how beings can create other life forms and project consciousness into it. The Omicron dragon moths are the ones who created the Dracon. So we're going to the beginning of this. We're going to talk about the original story, the original sin, what really was a sin. But let me just introduce you the races here. Since it's not about these Anunnaki races, the Anu Elohim, Anunnaki, Nephilim, and some of these other not so known races, tonight is about these reptilians coming out of the seraphim. Notice the word seraphim. Remember I mentioned earlier that they are the guardians, positive reptilians, you could say, positive insectoids, positive bird people. These are in the 14th dimension. Remember, there is no distortion from 12th dimension and above. So there is blessed beings who are following the law of one that are some of these races who fell. They're always blessed. They're not going to fall up here. These are dimensions 12 through 15 are all positive beings. And this is why they're called guardians. And so and that's what these reptilians are, is they came from that. That's their origin, which was originally on planet Vega. They're no longer, there, but they moved to the Orion star system and different planets in the Orion system. But it starts with the Omicron dragon moth, who created the Dracon. The Dracon created the Dracos, and then there's a couple other beings mentioned in the Guardian Voyagers book, the book that's right next to me here. Okay, chupacabras and Azazel, a blue human reptile. So you can see some of this stuff in movies. I've seen blue reptilians in one of these sci-fi shows that used to be on TV. Or you can see beings like this in Star Trek or Star Wars and other science fiction like Valerian, stuff like that. So there's another big race called a Dedicron. So it's a founder race too. You'll notice in this matrix, in the time matrix, you'll see indications of that. You see the Odedicron avian reptilians? That means they're part bird. That means they have wings. Winged reptilians. This is where you get gargoyles. There's actually gargoyles here listed. And so, but don't forget, this is where gray aliens come from. They come from the fallen seraphim races called Zephylium. The original gray alien races, their higher races were called Zephylium. It was a Zephylium who created the gray, tall grays, short grays. But look what they are, man. Insectoid reptilian serpents. Serpent-looking creatures. And so they're the ones who created the fallen angelic Zeta Grays. This is part of the Draconians. So the word Draconian comes... Okay, there's the original Omicron. They created the Dracon. So that's where the word Draconian is coming from. They're not even the highest beings. I mean, reptilians. We think they are, but you don't hear New Age talking about Omicron. They never heard of Omicron. You get stories of Mothman. Just like our brother said, let me go back to the camera. What the F? Oh. Our brother said that or sister, Monster Quinn, she said she saw someone's face look like a reptile with fangs. Sometimes people report seeing Mothman. That's the Omicron dragon moth. Okay? So, this is talked about in Voyagers, man. I'm not making this up. And I'll even show you the PDF online, on the screen. It talks about this reality field called the 15-dimensional time matrix being... I still didn't do my incense. Being 950 billion years. Okay? once again, that doesn't fit the 3D science of humans. You don't see us being even close to 950 billion years. Of course, you look at some ancient belief systems like the Hindus, they talk about a much older life stream too. Like consciousness has been around a lot longer than this little ridiculous, oh, we think the Earth is only a few billion years old, and I mean, we come from Earth only a few billion years or whatever. So just realize that's a distortion, you guys. To each their own, okay? You don't have to believe anything I'm saying or anything that the Guardians say, but you can resonate. There's something here that you resonate with. You're here listening. Something brought you here. That's something, you would say, a part of your consciousness, your family of consciousness. Wait, I'm trying to get this piece of amber. It's like hard. It's not soft, it's hard. This will produce a lot of smoke, the amber. If it gets off my finger, it's stuck to my finger. Hello? 950 billion years ago is where fallen angels first started. So, no. I made a mistake. I meant to say they all started as benevolent beings 950 years ago. They started falling 250 billion years ago. So, I'm just correcting myself. They actually were good. All of them were. But then, because of something that Ashiana describes, which is our teacher, the main speaker one teacher, it comes from something called DNA code convolution. That's a process of your DNA being distorted by kind of like the concept of inbreeding. You know how the Illuminati, the elites, they keep it within the family. Incest is best. Similar what the ETs were doing, keeping, they're all racist. They think they're better than other races. It's the same with the dragons, the draconians, the Omicrons. Same with the Anunnaki. They're high-level racists. They think they're better than you. Okay, and they will try to prove it to you, show it to you, treat you that way. And so, angelic realities is like glowing or something. Whatever. So this is 250 billion years ago is when DNA code convolution started happening. And what did I tell you guys? If you distort the DNA, you distort the consciousness. And vice versa. If you distort the consciousness, like brainwashing, changing beliefs, warping people's belief systems, that distortions are not divine right order. Okay, you're not following your divine blueprint. It's creating distortions in your body, literally. You turn into goblin-type looking creatures. You're not beautiful and lovely like your original self. You're falling in, you're going into mortality and death. You're going into distortion of your DNA, and you start developing distortions in your consciousness. This is what happened to the 10th dimensional Omicron dragon moths 250 billion years ago. So we're getting the context. I showed you the 15-dimensional time matrix. That gives you context. Now we're talking about the true forbidden history, okay, that were super ancient. We're not talking about humans yet. These beings and guardians are ancient, super ancient. And so humans were created 560 million years ago. You see, we weren't even close to being as old as the reptilians are. And so this was an incident. What the guardians call the original sin. Notice how in the distortions of religion, now the humans are original sin. When it was them who actually created the original sin. And sin's not a real concept, but the word is being spoken as the original sin because it affected all life in the 12 dimensions 1 through 12. Actually, 1 through 11. The 12th one is not polarized, is not distorted. So everything in the time matrix below the 12th dimension became distorted. That is what the Guardians call the original sin. And I know you guys are going to think I'm full of bullshit. Remember, this is based on this. I'm going to show you this on the screen. The original sin, where the reptilians started digressing in their consciousness, becoming code convoluted, that's DNA code convoluted, and started going into a dark consciousness. And a fallen consciousness wants to dominate, wants to kill, goes on death spree, they're bloodthirsty. They want to conquer you. They want to remember, they're fallen beings. They feed off of living systems, living planets. They'll feed off an entire planet. They'll feed off of a race of beings living on the planet. They'll feed off of you individuals. Like Monster Quinn saw that, right? She saw, someone is feeding. You see a succubus. That being is feeding. Life force. You don't see the succubus. You don't see the life force, but they're there because they're at different frequency vibration. You can have beings in other fields in the same space as you. We have beings all around us in different levels of reality. In their own physicality, what we call matter density, they're in their matter density and we could all be in different, we're not like interfering with each other. We don't see each other, these other worlds that are in the same space because of different particle speed and particle rotation. Okay, this is scalar mechanics. If you got different particle speed, faster, and going at a different angular rotation, it's not the same one as this reality, is it? Now it's about frequency. It's not seen to us now, unless you activate these higher chakra, which is like your antenna array. This is your connection to the galactic universal Wi-Fi, so to speak. Now you can perceive higher beings if you go on a spiritual journey and activate your chakras and Merkaba field and all that. You're now going into different extrasensory perceptions. When most humans are stuck in butt chakra, groin chakra, and ego, you see beyond those levels. Okay? And maybe you're not aware of that, but you start experiencing spirit guides or aliens or dark entities. It's because you have higher DNA activated. You came in with it. Maybe you don't remember it. It's not like your parents remembered and taught you when you were a little kid, hey, you're a hybrid reptilian. You're a hybrid Anunnaki. You're a hybrid indigo child. They don't know. Your parents are clueless because they're following all of the false creeds that are in our world. My parents followed them. My parents before them followed them. You're following them or not. I'm not. Okay? I left my parents' creeds. My father liberated himself too. He's not into that anymore. He used to teach Sunday school to kids. Now he's against it. Religion, the dogma of religion and the false creeds of religion, the dark concepts in religion. So yeah. So these reptilians became code convoluted. They were once benevolent through their own choices or whatever, interbreeding, whatever. They became convoluted. And so now there is distortion between dimensions 1 and 11. There wasn't before, you guys. But from our point of view, this is ancient now. To us, 250 billion years ago was a really long time ago. So they started fighting with the Anu Elohim. You saw it on a diagram. And 11-dimensional beings who are the ones who create the Anunnaki, a different fallen angelic group. They were battling and fighting. And they were actually winning over the Anunnaki. That's why the Anunnaki, they were called the Anu Elohim. The Anu Elohim asked the Guardians for help. But they're falling too. They were falling. They were going into DNA code convolution and going into dominating planets and fighting the reptilians, but the reptilians were stronger. So they wanted help. So anyways, there's a whole this is all talked about. Oh yeah, I want to show you on the screen. Original sin. Oh, I'm in the Cathara PDF. I was just talking about myons and dions, right? Let me look. This is the Voyager's book that you see next to me. See, same picture. We'll look for. I think that might be in Voyager's 1. I'll do it in Voyager 1. Original sin. There's one result. Okay. The Anu, remember the Anu Elohim, destruction of Armatana's Stargate. They destroyed Stargate 12. I've heard in Ashana's workshops they actually they destroyed this and destroyed the planet. But this is talking about the Stargate, which was, by the way, it was repaired by the Guardians. But this was the original sin because all life forms, including the avatars, became trapped in the time matrix until this destroyed Stargate 12, was reconstructed. They attacked the Guardians, man! These 11-dimensional beings attacked the 12-dimensional beings it's described in one of her workshops that they backflowed their 11D Stargate. The 11D Stargate backflowed and created this destruction. And the Guardians allowed it. That's a whole nother topic, why the Guardians allowed it. It also has to do with Metatron and the Odedicrons, winged reptilians. I'm going to be making a video about Metatron because it's a huge distortion in the New Age. People are worshiping Metatron just like they're worshiping Archangel Michael. These are really dark beings. If they even destroy whole planets, man, and attack the Guardians and go into... Now, let me look for original sin in Voyagers 2. Oh, it's not talked about here, but okay. It's talked about... I can use a different keyword, but let me check and make sure you guys are seeing this. Holy cow, it's way behind. It's way behind. 144 people. Someone put that in chat, 144. So, let me look at chat for a second here and get this straightened out. Let me push refresh, you guys. I'll push refresh real quick. Yeah, 144. That is so cool, man. You said it, HV in the house, Johnny Freeman. Rise and shine. Rise and shine. Miles, I'm all for mushrooms. They're the most profound plant medicine I've ever experienced. And if you have negative impacts, it's probably because your consciousness, whatever is going on in your life, whatever is going on in your thoughts, what's ever going on in your day, what's going on in your health, those could cause your negative experiences because your frequency is thoughts and those frequencies are affecting your mushroom experience. Just saying. Grateful 9. Yes, they're actually above the angels. Remember, they're dark avatars. Angels are density universe 2. Archangels are density universe 3. And these beings are coming from density universe 4, which is dimensions 10 and 11 for the angels, fallen angels. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, Celine, the Voyager's book. You guys, that's a free link. That's free information. We give links to free documents and free workshops. I have some of the workshops starting in my members area too, so it's readily available. But realize it's all free. You just have to go look for it. Now, the reasons why we give links is because it's copyrighted, but it's no longer being offered by Ashana. So we have to go find links to get it now. We still want to study it. But if she's not going to offer it, then we're going to go find it somewhere. And so we go find the PDFs by these links that you're getting from our team. Our team is going to just, here, go get it. We're not getting paid for that. We want you to have the information. Machiwa, thank you, Celine. I'm just going to check real quick. Yeah, I don't see it. I can't go higher because I refreshed the screen. I got to remember I can't do that. Okay, forgive. I took mushrooms and saw reptilians in the gates of heaven. Okay, yes. What does plant medicine do? It takes your 3D vibration way up here. Now you're in the higher dimensions. You can perceive these higher beings in the higher dimensions. You'll see reptilians, you'll see aliens, you'll see angels, you'll see other worlds. And the people who are not evolving themselves, who are not doing meditation, who are not doing chakra work, who are not working on their Merkaba field, well, they're not seeing those things. And now they don't believe in those things. Now they think you're blind and you're full of BS. Okay? People claim that about me. I made a third eye video on Instagram. I got a whole bunch of spam on it, a whole bunch of ridiculous comments. When all kinds of spiritual belief systems talk about the third eye, but they're talking about it, all these BS comments like schizophrenia, all this stupid stuff like my chakra is in my butt is lighting up. Does that mean my third eye is working? Stuff like that. This is what people's thoughts are. This is their maturity level. This is what they're at in their consciousness. Okay? I can remember my doing that stuff 20 years ago. So, yeah. Thank you, Celine. Bless you, sister. Thank you for being part of it. And igneous virtue, I'm more interested in Aya. I can't say all those hashtags on my live, but I know we know what you're talking about. And I tried that when I went to Peru. The problem about the Aya is you have to find a church in the United States of America that offers it. Maybe they're not even in your state. Maybe you're going to have to travel. In my state, where I used to live, Arizona, you could easily go to a reservation, a Native American reservation, and ask a shaman there to help you with a peyote, which is what? It is also called San Pedro. It's a cactus. They found a way, there's medicine in there to help you go into this spirit world. That's all they can say. They can't say anything more than spirit worlds. It's actually other dimensions of reality. Just like our brother said, he experienced seeing reptilians. That's because you're no longer in 3D. You projected up here where these other beings exist. Now that you can perceive them, more than likely they can perceive you. Florida has one. There we go. See, you already know about it. I was happy. I was happy to go to the one in Peru because I got to be with these authentic shamans who are very knowledgeable about that. Of course, I am, I didn't, back to 144, by the way, 144 people online right now. So yeah, I wanted that experience. And plus the experience of being in Peru was super amazing. And plus I got to visit, while I was in Peru, I saw Machu Picchu. So I was on plant medicine. They call it San Pedro there. San Pedro, there's also something, I forgot what it's called. It's a little pipe, and they put it in your nose, dude. I forgot the word. It's at the tip of my tongue. I don't know, but the shamans over there were incorporating that with the San Pedro peyote. And so, but then I also had journeys with the Aya. It was absolutely profound. Totally different than mushroom, but I prefer mushroom now because you can easily grow it yourself. Aya, you can't just easily grow it yourself as far as I know, unless someone ships you the ingredients for it, because that comes from the bark of trees that are in Peru or Ecuador or wherever, like Brazil and stuff. So we don't have those, but here you can get it's easy to grow mushroom. Shiitake mushrooms or whatever kind of mushrooms you want. That's what I did. You don't need to buy it from some person. That's getting yourself vulnerable, right? Grow them yourself and have your own experiences in your privacy of your home. Machiwa. Bullet train. There we go. Liquid light is exploring consciousness. Michelle's has tried peyote. She loves it. Yeah, I tried DMT too, and that blew me away, dude. That was freaking amazing. It was super clean, and it lasted like 4 minutes. It was like a group of us, like 30 of us, and we each had our turn. Every individual had their turn to go up, get their medicine, and sit down. It lasted minutes, but it was so profound. I haven't tried it beyond that. But anyways, I can't keep saying so many hashtags, but thank you guys. Oh, Santos Bonacci. I don't know all his teachings. I remember back in the day I used to study him. I love him. Now, I can't say anything about all his teachings because it's been years, it's been a decade since I studied him. Maybe he's totally distorted like a lot of New Agers, but I'm sure he's speaking a lot of truth still. I've seen fairies and elves. I made a video about elves. It's got like 250,000 views on Instagram. Check it out. Miles, can negative aliens entities put bad thoughts in you during and after a mushroom trip? Suicidal, homosexuality? Yeah, that is, you guys, if you're going to be going and taking your consciousness into other levels of reality, and you're going to be seeing reptilians or gray aliens, you better believe you will be putting protection up. That should be one of your main focus before you even drink the medicine. I drink it. I don't eat it. What? You just gotta use one of those herb grinder, and put it in water and drink it. It's disgusting to eat it. Who eats it? That's disgusting. I can't stand the taste of it. But I can't stand drinking it either, but I do it because it's easier and faster. It's a lot easier to go like that. But I make it a ritual. First of all, I'm on a spiritual journey, and I'm connecting to unity consciousness, Christ consciousness in my life. I understand the principles of the sacred law of one. That's my vibration now. That's my base. Maybe someone's not into the inner Christos, inner God spark, and they're into New Age distortions and false creeds. Well, you have a different vibration. You have a distorted vibration that is going to go into your plant medicine. This is why I also fast. I do not eat the day before or the day during a plant medicine like that experience. You need to have an empty stomach. I know some people will tell you different. Whatever. Actually, whatever works for you. What works for me is making sure I'm pure in thought and in body. Make sure your mind is pure and your body is pure before you start taking those powerful medicines that literally take your consciousness from here and skyrocket. You can get all kinds of 3D immature comments about it. Sure, transmute those comments. Put boundaries on those type of people. Now you're not hearing their nonsense. So you experience your journey, and I take it sacred. I go and even start listening to guardian materials and putting the guardian symbols. I've seen these symbols alive. Some of the sacred symbols are alive, and when I was on medicine, I saw them alive. I take it real serious. I make sure that I pray, which is not praying, but connecting to your higher selves, connecting and to Holy Elohai, to these guardians who are not distorted, who are not in the polarization. Okay, connect to those parts of you. That's in your DNA. You're connecting to, you're praying, but it's right here in your body. Your dormant body. You take plant medicine, it's no longer dormant. You guys understand that, right? If you have, let's say, 3 strands going into a 4th strand of DNA, that means you have 1 through 4 chakras. And that means if we have 12 strands of DNA in our complete DNA, that means, well, 8 of your strands of consciousness are dormant. But you take plant medicine, it's not dormant. It doesn't mean you don't have your 3D distortions. It means now you can see higher levels of the universe because of your DNA. That's now the medicine. Now you're perceiving creation, higher levels of your DNA. The medicine helps you activate levels of your DNA that you don't normally perceive. Because without the medicine, you're just in your normal waking state of 3D consciousness for most humans. So, yeah. Billy Carson. Yeah. Billy Carson, Santos Bonacci, bro, Sanchez brother. You're not asking anything, so I don't know what you tagged me for, but thank you for that. Big energy. See, there's a lot of people throwing this word around, schizophrenia. It's an insult. Right? They use it as an insult. So I don't know if you, big energy, are trying to use it as an insult. So you guys, you can transmute that energy. People like big energy. You can transmute that and don't let it bother you. You put boundaries on that. In your own personal life, in your own social media, you block those people. You block those people and don't have conversations with those people anymore. Wow, their distortions, their negative attacks, immature comments don't affect you. What a concept. You don't engage. You just let go. These people do not perceive because they don't have the higher chakra. They're not spiritually oriented. They don't care. They're just arrogant, prideful, aggressive. They like to dominate you. They like to manipulate you. They like to feed off your energy. And you recognize this. You see it a mile away when you're awakened. These kind of people are not fooling anybody who's actually awakened. And they can say all their claims, all their BS. They don't see other fourth dimensional astral. They don't see the angel levels of reality. 1111. Average view duration. You guys don't see that metric, but I see it. It says 1111 is the average view duration. And so that's how, I mean, some of you are staying longer, obviously, but if you average all the other people leaving early, it averages out to 1111. That's pretty cool, man. Well, ganja is just another word for pot, right? I have no problems with it. The only negative aspect I've had is when you get it at the pharmaceuticals. I mean, when you get it at the what is it called? The places where you get cannabis. Some of that is, I think they're doing stuff to it. Because I got sick from it. I suddenly got this type of inflammation in my body. Lymphatic system. My lymphatic system became, I never had such issues in my life. As soon as I started taking these, what are they called, man? They're not called pharmacies, they're called, let me check. Dispensaries, thank you, James. I think the dispensaries are hybridizing this stuff. They're making it synthetic. They're putting synthetics, and so this is why you got such high levels of CBD or whatever you call it. They're just making it so strong, and I believe it's causing health problems. As soon as I started taking that stuff, I grew a cyst behind my left nipple. What the F? I started having health problems suddenly. All these health problems came out of nowhere. It wasn't coming from my diet. It wasn't coming from something else coming into my body. The only other thing coming into my body was dispensary weed. And when I would take a smoke of the dispensary weed, It started happening. The inflammation, my lymphatic inflammation, that means I start to feel this pain it's around your nipples. If you look at the map on your body of where they are, the lymph nodes around the nipples, around the armpits, around the groin or the legs, the arms, they can go down your arms. You'll feel inflammation. I never had inflammation in my whole life, and I'm 50 plus years old. I've never had issues until I started taking this, and I know for a fact it's the weed. I know for a fact because it will happen within minutes. I'll start feeling this shit around this here. When it first happened, I thought it was my heart, man, because it was right here, but then the cyst started growing right here, and then I feel it go up around my armpit, in my armpit. So that's where those lymph nodes are. That's where you get lumps and bumps and cysts. That's your lymphatic system. Why would this suddenly cut? I have no source to get it natural. I don't know where to buy it natural. Get it natural. The dispensaries are not going to sell you natural weed. So I'm trying to answer your question about ganja. It works. Man, it activates your chakras and makes you sick too. If you're getting it at those sources. But it works, it truly works. And people are immature in the world. 3D consciousness says you're just high. And they discredit you. They think whatever you now see or perceive is, they think, they dismiss it. Now it's just in your head. You need to lay off the drugs, they say. Okay? You're going to have that experience, and you're going to either have it bother you or not. Or put boundaries and don't have that in your life. Put boundaries. Now you won't have it in your life. You won't have this trollers. And so it works, man. It actually activates, let's say, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, for a little while, for an hour. You're not meant to do that all day. You're not meant to rely on those plant medicines. If you're exploring consciousness or you want to heal some pains, you shouldn't have pains. You should be going on a spiritual diet, spiritual journey, and meditation. You won't have diseases and cancers and suffering in your body. We should regularly be eating healthy and exercising. And then you won't be needing pharmaceuticals or doctor visits or whatever. We learn to become masters of healing. So let's go back to reptilians. This is something that they were doing this. They started 250 billion years ago. That was the original sin when they blew up the Stargate 12. Because that affected, realize that was a universal Stargate. There's 12 of them. And the highest one, Stargate 12, is the one that the Anu Elohim blew up. And so that is the original sin. That is what affected everything in the 15-dimensional time matrix. But they were also fighting, the Anu Elohim also were fighting with the Omicron dragon moths. And so they still are competing fallen angelic gangsters. They both want dominion of Earth. And according to the Guardians, it's the reptilians who win. They will, on this timeline, because there's other timelines, there's the inner Earth timeline, a higher timeline. There's a higher timeline than that called the 5D Tara level. But the one down here is the one where the reptilians take over. This timeline, if you don't ascend and get out of here, you're going to be experiencing when the reptilians take over. This is not something I'm making up. I'm not doing fear porn. This is what the Guardians talk about. Hello, in the newbie, in the beginner, the information, in the Voyager's information. 1144 still. 1144 average V duration. And it was 1111. Thank you, Holy Ones, reminding me I'm on target here with this topic. 1111, now it was 1144. I'm talking about the average V duration, 1144. So it was the so for 250 billion years, these beings have been coming out of Phantom, or falling into Phantom and operating out of Phantom, and in order to interact with the particle universe, the living universe, because they're in the non-living, the reverse consciousness universe. In order to affect us or get here or anything like that, they have to use portals and stargates. That's why they created the Philadelphia experiment. This is why they created the Montauk Project. This is why they created 2 Atlantis stargates. This is where the Bermuda Triangle comes in. 2 Atlantean stargates in there. Remember, it fell. So Atlantis fell. So, that's in the ocean. This is why you have all this paranormal stuff happening in the Bermuda Triangle, talked about in the Voyager's books. And so, these fallen angels are using stargates to get here. And from the Phantom Universe, there is natural stargates. Okay, we mentioned the universal stargates. So, you have stargates. What do you think your chakras are? The Guardians call the chakras, it's the Hindus who call them chakras. The Guardians call these Templar. There's planet Templar. Those are called stargates. So the planet has chakras, you have chakras. There's the sun. The sun has chakras. These are natural organic chakras, or Templar. And so there's also a universal level. So in the universal level, there's 12. There's that sacred number again. That's the divine number. Base 12 is the divine. So 12 universal stargates, and they destroyed the 12th one. And so when all of that mess started happening, they cut off the 12th strand. Okay? Now that's why everything is dark from, not dark, I meant distorted. Everything is distorted from 11th dimension and down. It's kind of like their own little kingdom of causing chaos. We're not fallen angels, though. This is still the living system. They're trying to pull you. They're trying to bring you down into their phantom universe. According to the Guardians, they're successful. According to the Guardians, the Reptilians and their friends, remember, they're part of the Draconian team. They're Team Draconian. The Zeta Greys are, and the Dragons, Reptilians, obviously. So this all happened 250 billion years ago, and it was, and so this was now warfare. Now there's spiritual warfare when there wasn't before, but now there is, and so it's part of our human drama. It's part of the astral. See, New Agers, they think everything above us, the third dimension, is blessed and good. They make an exception. They say the lower 4D is bad, but everything above it is good and blessed and godly. Not according to the innerchristos Emerald Order, Law of One. Okay? Everything is distorted, has possibility of negative, dark agendas, of spiritual warfare, all the way up to the 11th dimension. And so this is where these beings are coming from. I showed you guys the diagram. These beings are coming from those levels through the stargates. Let me show you the stargate real quick of the Philadelphia experiment. Just real quick. Chicas. Okay, this is the living universe, but they get here. They get to the living universe through stargates, such as, portals actually, wormholes that they created. This was in 1943. The Philadelphia experiment with the United States government. They were allying with the Zeta Grey aliens. Stupid. So stupid, right? That's not very loving. It wasn't very bright. How's that? The U.S. government was tricked and fooled. They had no idea they were trying to create a wormhole from the Phantom Matrix. The government didn't even know what is the Phantom Matrix. This is the Phantom Matrix, man. These fallen angels are coming from those levels. They can influence, and plus, on Earth, they have hybrid bodies that they can project their consciousness into. Dark avatars can influence us through this process. And so you have these beings coming in, and these are the ones we're talking about tonight. These are the main three would be these three: Omicron, Dracon, and Dracos. Dracos was created on Earth, man. They're Earthlings. Of course, since then they've been kicked off our planet by the Guardians, but they were created on Earth just like the Nephilim, just like the Anu Elohim, Anunnaki, Nephilim were. Because they were created with hybridizing with the ancient Egyptian. The Dracos, Reptilians, were hybridized with the humans. And so this is why some of the Illuminati are been what you call suspected of being reptilians, because some people have seen them change their shape. They're shapeshifters. They can morph. That's the ability of some of these extraterrestrial DNA. Even in our world, we got geckos or beings who could change their color, like an octopus who can blend in within seconds. They can morph. They can change. There's examples of that in the animal kingdom, and the extraterrestrial xenomorphs, they can do it too. Some of these beings, like shapeshifters, like they can happen through ET DNA or black magic or something like that. Wait. Yeah, okay. So this is what we're mostly talking about tonight. Omicron, Dracon, and Dracos. And so this is 11th dimension, this is 10th dimension, and this is now here where we are. So that's what is shown in the big diagram. Omicron, 10th dimension, Dracon, the dragons, Draconians, are in the 9th dimension. The Dracos are way over in our system. We got Dracons on our planet because of the Dracos. You could say they're Omicrons, really, because it all leads back to the Omicrons. It all goes back to the Omicron race. And this is where you get Marduk. Well, Marduk comes out of this races, man. It's part reptilian. Let me see. Let me find it. Where is it? See? It's part Omicron and part Anunnaki. That's what... So it's coming out of the reptilian family of consciousness. Marduk, Enlil, and Enki are all fallen angels being worshipped in the New Age. They bring you the New Age, man. Who do you think brought the New Age channeling movement? It was the Jehovah's Anunnaki, the main Anunnaki. Of course, the other Anunnaki got involved too. This is the main pureblood Anunnaki. So they're called Jehovahans. Like in the big diagram, Jehovah's Anunnaki. Which this word goes back to this family of consciousness called Giovanni, which is where the Metatron comes from. Metatron is coming from this, and I'm going to make a video about it and explain it. It's going to take me almost an hour to explain Metatron, but we're going to get the story of Metatron soon. I just got so many projects and videos that I'm working on. It's just I'll get there. So yeah. Thank you. So yeah, we got this, and I just want to say, you guys, if you enjoy any of this that we're talking about tonight, if you want to know more, first of all, smash that like button. Consider subscribing to this channel. But if you like what I'm doing, please consider supporting this work. I thank you in advance for the small gift of $5 or 10, 15, 20, whatever you feel called to. Thank you for supporting this work, you guys, because that's how I'm able to do this full time. I couldn't do this full time without your support and your help and your donations, and it's part of exchange of energy. You're supporting your content creators, your favorite content creators, so we can do more work. This is our work. This is my full-time job. This is my commitment in life. If you don't want to become a member, you could also support this work by buying one of my crystals or my artworks. And Celine or can show you those links, or you can see the links below. And I just want to say that real quick, you guys, because this is how I can keep on doing this, through your guys' help and support. Bless you. Thank you for that. My Chiwa. Let me double check the... Yeah, so far there's no donations, but you guys, HV in the house, just gave me, helped out. Actually, I just saw that. That was a while ago. Sorry, sister. Thank you so much, HV, for supporting this work. You guys know I put the donation link. It's at the top. So you can also send a donation by PayPal. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, we have all kinds of reptilians on our planet. That's another conversation. HV! Celine! My Chiwa sister! 999! Stephen Oswald! Yes! Blessed elderly ones. Thank you so much. This is how we get things done around here. So bless all of you. And we're all resonating with this information. And so this is the Emerald Order information, as originally spoken by Al-Shanadine. Thank you so much, you guys. Celine, Stephen Oswald, HV. Bless you guys, brothers and sisters alike, who focus on this agenda. We got Pearl became a member. Welcome, Pearl. Have you guys seen Valerian, the city of 1,000 planets? The extraterrestrial race in there, the benevolent spiritual one, is called Pearl. Thank you, Pearl. So glad to have you. Just remember and realize that you have, you can now get the link to go into the members Discord chat server, where we're all talking and chatting. You can join the team if you become a member. And so the link is in my members area. If you can't find it, write us an email. We'll help you out with that. You just have to scroll down to the members area and find it. Sunset Dreams, Law of One, you said a Holy One. And so these reptilians from 250 billion years ago fell. And they are the ones who are now part of our human drama, which is now, you would say, happening when the humans started seeding planet Earth. The humans are not from planet Earth. We're ETs too. We're from a planet called Tara, in another dimension. Not just another galaxy, another planet, but another dimension. And so, thank you, HV. I love you, sister. Thank you for what you do and all the things that are part of your journey. Yeah, so this is human seeding 1 started 25 million years ago, which was destroyed by the Anunnaki. And then human seeding 2, because the reptilians came 1 million years ago during human seeding 2, and they're the ones are the reason why we were destroyed in human seeding 2. Now we're in human seeding 3, which started after that point, 800,000 years ago. Okay, so, but they're still attacking us, you guys. They're still, and they actually, according to the Guardian teachings, they actually took over parallel Earth. Parallel Earth has been taken over by the reptilians and the Zeta Gray aliens. They have something called the Dracos Zeta Agenda. They're a team, and they're both draconians. Okay, I want to show you real quick just the draconians. It made me think about it, just real quick. So let me go back to that. There is 4 main races in the what you call Seraphi Gold Flame. Only 2 of them fell, the Omicron and Dedicron, but the Mantis Athean race did not fall, and the Ceres race did not fall. And like I said before, not all of these beings are bad. Of course, their race fell, though. It's like saying United States of America changed into a different government. Like, not all Americans will go for that, though. Same with reptilians. Not all reptilians fell for that shit. And it was actually the Dedicron that were trying to be rescued. They didn't want to go along with the Omicrons. And so, that's another whole, that would take me a while to explain, but these beings took over fell too eventually. But just realize there is positive Seraphi races. They're bird people. They're avian hominids, bird people. This is where all birds come from. That's connected to this 10th dimensional, connected to 10th dimensional DNA of the Ceres avian hominids. All species of birds are connected to this race. And here we have an insectoid race. And of course, that's probably what created all the other races, such as the Zephylium in the lower density. And they created lower beings like the Zeta Gray aliens in the lower density. So we have creator gods creating other creator gods, creating other races and ETs, right? So I just wanted to show that there is positive ones. And you will see an indication. We have positive dinoids, which are dinosaur beings, positive reptiles, and positive insects, and positive avians. There is positive versions, but not at the higher level. They fell. As a race, the Omicrons fell. As a race, the Adetacrons fell. But you're going to get groups or families of consciousness who did not. So yes, you could have a dragon guardian. You know from your own experiences. Based on their polarity, based on how they behave, how they talk, how they treat you. So some of your spirit guides could be reptilians, and that's an indication of where you're coming out of. Remember, there is all kinds of starseeds here. Pleiadians, Syrians, Andromedans, Mintakans, for Orion or something. But mostly it's the Lyrans who are helping us out because that's who we are in the higher densities. Way beyond the humans. Way beyond these reptilians and Anunnaki. That's who created us. So, but that's another video as well. Tonight, when we talk about Anunnaki, we'll talk about that, but we're talking about the reptilians. So bless all of you for being here on this topic as we talk about. And I want to say something that it is the concept of Satan, because it is different than the concept of Lucifer. Satan comes out of the reptilian group. And let me show you how that happens from the diagram again, real quick. So, there is a group of hybrids. I got to sneeze here in a bit. Excuse me. I warned you. These reptilians, right? They hybridized. Some of them got mixed with the Anu Elohim Anunnaki races. So if you combine reptilians with Anunnakis, different kinds of reptilians, different kinds of Anunnaki, if you combine them, you're going to get a whole bunch of hybrid races. And that's where the Satan comes from the hybrid reptilian Anunnaki races, specifically of a Marduk family line. This is where the concept of Satan comes from. Look at the name of their family. They're the Satan. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Satan. So it is the Satan where the concept of Satan comes out from. And is it not a coincidence that is the reptilians, the Satan took over the Vatican? You'll see it everywhere in the, like I just mentioned earlier, the Pope audience chamber, but not that. You'll see it just in the Vatican in general. Reptilian energy, reptilian consciousness. Satan and the Anunnaki are the Luciferians. It came out of a family called Lolitan. Same family line that Thoth came out of. The Anunnaki are Luciferians. The reptilians are Satans. The concept of what we get in religion is not the... Remember, there's distortions of religion. Your ideas of Satan in the Bible, Lucifer in the Bible, those are distortions of other distortions. A copy of a copy of a copy. You're not getting the truth. You're not getting the original. So Lucifer is not an earth thing. Satan and Lucifer are not earth thing. It's a universal thing. A universal thing. Not limited to earth, but came to earth. But it's all over. You know, coming from the fallen angelics, from 11D and down. So you guys can argue. People have all these different ideas and theories about who is Lucifer, who is Satan. People have ideas about who are Anunnaki. So you're going to get differing ideas. And what did I say at the beginning? You don't have to believe anything I'm saying. It's not dogma. We don't force it on you. Okay? That's the difference between us and religion. And New Age too, by the way. I do have to blow my nose. Let me blow my nose off the camera real quick. Test. Okay. Sorry, guys. So yeah, this is the higher levels of these fallen angels, reptilians. But of course, I was started to talk about the human seedings that happened on Earth 25 million years ago. A couple of million years ago is when the reptilians came. There's a whole story about that, about when they came a million years ago in Atlantis. Atlantis is a real thing. It's part of our history, the forbidden history, because our science says it doesn't exist. It's a myth. It's a fairy tale, even though people are finding proof of it. Okay? And so I prefer the truth, the proof, coming from the guardians before I listen to the human history, right? Because that's just a distortion. You got people talking about Tataria, Tataria, Tataria. Where there's being cover-ups in our history. People seeing that legitimately, straight up, these elites, these bloodlines who are in power are controlling even our history books. Fabricating it, creating it, covering it up. You know, what we think is truth. You're being spoon-fed history. You want the true history, go to the being serving law of one, outside of the religion dogma and the false gods. We call them godlets. Okay? Religions are reptilian religions, are Anu Elohim religions, Anunnaki religions. Giving you the false creeds. I showed you on the screen the false creeds. Fear, guilt, shame, subservience, blind worship, devalue women. All these different false creeds are what is being taught in churches, man. In 4,000 plus different religions, most of them are patriarchies. That means male only club, swing, women down here kind of thing. Chauvinist, sexist teachings being taught in the Bible, and that's just one of many distortions. So, I could put a little bit copal. So, let me look at your chat too, you guys. I think YouTube needs to create a tag tab so I can look at that tab. How do I connect to my astral being? Your astral chakra. 3 words. Or 2 words. Heart chakra. That's how you connect to your astral self. So let me show air sign real quick. Like literally a few seconds. Okay, so how do you connect to your... Wait, your question was, how do I connect to my astral being? Well, look at the astral level. What the hell is my thing is giving me issues. I got the wrong icon. Okay, thank you very much. This is what we've been talking about. A lot of people are not connected to their heart chakra or the higher chakra. You have to work on chakra work. In the Kathara Biospiritual Healing class, you can learn how to do that. It's called Triadic Phase Currents. You're going to learn how to work on the chakra. You're going to know where the chakra are on your body, and you're going to work on it. You're going to do meditation on it. You're going to learn how through these teachings, and then you'll activate your astral consciousness. There you go. Machiwa. So, well, there's 12 you want to go through 12 chakras. In these teachings, once again, you don't just theorize. You don't just make this a philosophy. You literally are practicing and training. These teachings show you step by step how to activate the higher chakras. And we do that by focusing on the 12th chakra. Okay? Because every strand of DNA, thank you for that, Holy One. Every strand of DNA has all the lower strands within it. So let's say 10 strand. 10 strand has 9 strands and below within it, right? So, a second here. That already burned out. So, if you work on the 12th strand, you're getting 11 strands and below activating. And you're also going to be, so we are, let me refresh my screen. In our teachings, come on, refresh please. In our teachings, we bring in 12 strands, so you're now bringing in parts of your 1 through 11 too. So if you aim for the high chakra, you're going to get included in the high chakra the lower chakras. So we go up, straight up to the Christ chakra, the 12th strand chakra, the Christos, okay, the Christos level, which is 6 inches below your feet. So when you do your visualization, you see it below your feet. You don't look there. You see it in your imagination. You go there in your imagination. And you learn how to activate it. It is a pure white Merkaba field. 6-pointed star. A star tetrahedron. Okay, it's spinning. It's 2 pyramids. One upright, one pointing down. Together, they're counter-rotating. And so you're going to see that 6-pointed Merkaba star moving and animating. Well, like for example, the person that asked about the 4th astral, you wouldn't see a white one, you would see a green one, because that's the spectra of the heart chakra. Green ray, blue ray, indigo ray. Excuse me, I got a cough. This is why, if you're activating your third eye, which is the indigo ray, you're an indigo. What's up? It's not complicated. And because I got attacked on my indigo, on my third eye video. But I expect it. My day isn't ruined. People can say all kinds of garbage. All kinds of demonic shit. You get low vibe people. And you can expect it. And don't let it ruin your day. Don't let it affect you. That's a skill. Where you don't live your life based on other people's expectations. You don't adjust your life for someone else's comments, for example. People say I should do something and shouldn't do something. It's not affecting me. Okay? Now, constructive criticism or people I care about who are respectful to me, of course. I'm talking about people who are disrespectful. Okay? So this is a spiritual war. And as you see, it's about reptilians wanting to take us over. It's about Anunnaki wanting to take us over. There's a lot of false teachings, false creeds, entangling us into the phantom. They want us entangled. The New Age is entangled into the Galactic Federation. It's entangled with Archangel Michael. It's entangled with Archangel Metatron. It's entangled with these false creeds. Okay? That's what they work on constantly. Getting us to follow those false creeds that we showed you. Fear, guilt. If you put some being in fear, what do you think that does to their energy, their consciousness? You shame a person. What does that do? You felt shame. How did you feel? How did that affect you? How did it affect you when you were in fear? Did you like being in fear? Well, God says fear God. That's not God. That's the fake God. See? Extraterrestrial God. Godlet. There's fake creator gods. They're ETs. As a matter of fact, demons are ETs. Fallen angels are ETs. Spirits are ETs. There's ETs. There is no spirits. There is no other term. Those are religious terms. The truth of the matter is they're beings, consciousness at different levels of vibration. What is it then? What is a demon? It's another consciousness at another vibration. And if you're at a different vibration, you're in a different reality. It's not hard to understand. You can teach your child. So teach your child. Okay? So we're learning about the spiritual warfare because we're not going to stay clueless. Are you going to be clueless? Because that's what a big portion of the New Age is, clueless. They just want to be love and light and live in rainbows and clouds and not think about anything negative. I will not put my mind there. There is nothing negative. There is no fallen angel. There is no Luciferian consciousness on earth. There is no Satan energy on earth. They just wish it away. They pretend it doesn't exist. That's why we call it clueless. The love, light, and clueless movement. That's what New Age is. Love, light, and clueless. Just Lucky Charms and rainbows and clouds. Okay? Dancing and prancing. That's what New Age is. And they're channeling. They're channeling ascended masters, which are fallen beings. They think they're talking ascended masters. They think they're talking to Andromedans. They think they're talking to angels. Because that's what this set up to be. Brothers and our space brothers and sisters. Okay? It's a scam. It's a trick to fool you. Who's the fool? You're being fooled. You're being duped. When billions of people are following a system of fear, they take that into their heart and their mind as truth. They take into their heart and mind, and all their energy is believing that God is angry. Burning anger. God is sacrificing. What? Okay, God is about life, living. Associations having to do with sacrifice, death, murder, genocide. That's a mass scale murder. Those are red flags. Hello. I showed that little diagram. It's very simple, just straightforward, of the false creeds. But it's also profound, because that is what you're following reptilian creeds. You're following Anunnaki creeds. You're resonating with them. Thank you for those hearts, Holy One. Who's doing that? Give me a kiss. Bless you. Let's meet afterwards. So you know what I'm saying? So maybe you're all into dragons. Maybe you found a guardian dragon. But in general, they're fallen angels. And so we have the Dracos, Zeta Dracos agenda. It is the Dracos Zetas who have infiltrated. If you see in this Emerald Order teachings. You see in these Emerald Order teachings that the Zeta Gray aliens took over parallel Earth along with the Reptilians. And you see these same Reptilians and Anunnaki making contracts with the government. That is scary shit. That's danger, Red Robinson. So, our government trusted them, made contracts with them, got punked. U.S. government and other governments got punked by these. You think they kept their side of the bargain? They told the government, we're going to show you in the Philadelphia experiment invisibility technology. Hello. They used that to actually, what you call the Philadelphia experiment, the Montauk Project. We got a problem with somebody? We got a troll, and we can expect that. Hide user, if this is a serious one, let me know. If it's a serious one, I'll ban him. But if he's not, we'll just put a timeout for 24 hours. I'll just remove him. So yeah, you guys, I said it at the very beginning. You don't have to agree with anything we're saying. You don't have to agree with this huge tome of spiritual knowledge. Okay? Remember, hundreds of 10-hour workshops, 21-hour workshops. Hundreds of those kind of workshops. That's a lifetime. If you don't have to agree with it, though. But please be respectful in chat. That's all. You can talk about Jesus and you can tell me I'm wrong. Just simply be respectful. As soon as you're disrespectful or you start spamming like a bot, we let you go. That's understandable. Yes, Jay will. Yeah, they communicate in dreams, but realize that if you guys are psychic, you're experiencing, like this person, lucid dreaming or some type of connection in a dream work. Some of the things that we experience in our extrasensory perceptions, maybe even some of your past lives or future lives, they're coming from parallel, some of them. And it's not as if you actually know the difference. I believe some of my things that I experience are from parallel. I'm remembering parallel. I even saw these huge Dracos, man. They're either Dracos or Draconians. But these beings were freaking tall, like 18 feet high. Like, what in the F? And they were just walking casually as these other reptilian creatures that look like dinosaurs almost, like raptors. They look like raptors. And this was one of my lucid dreams. These beings were terrorizing and killing. Oh, that's my green screen. Sorry, I got to be careful of that. I got to work on my green screen, and at least I'm aware of it. I'm sitting in the right place. But if I put my arm there, man, this dream tripped me out. And you saw dreams of parallel. I believe I was seeing parallel, almost to the T to what they say about this takeover. So they use dinosaurs, man. They're reptilian creatures. Dinosaurs are ETs too. Just like all of our little animals are beings up there, they're ETs up there. Dinosaurs are ETs up there. When you see an Omicron, Dragon Moth, or Draconian, they're part dinosaur. We call them reptilians, but they're dinoids too. Dinoids, insectoids, reptilians. And so, yeah. 1 second here. Is Leviathan real? Well, I don't know where you hear of Leviathan, but in our teachings, they talk about Leviathan as being, they're actually the word, we use the word Illuminati. The Guardians use the word Leviathan, which are non-human. They're part human, but they're mixed, like they're a hybrid ET. Obviously, we know these Leviathans, the Leviathans are not in our best interest. Thank you for that, Holy One. Right? They're attacking us. Leviathan is, and there's more than one Leviathan race. Let me explain that, but first I want to... Majori Roth. Thank you, Holy One. Much respect, Star Sister. Thank you for being part of us. I don't recognize your name. So you're new to our live, I guess, I'm assuming. Or this is the first time you spoke up. Thank you so much, sister. Bless you. I appreciate 999 as well. Machiwa. Hugs and kisses to you too. Yeah. Thank you so much, you guys. Well, Mr. Mandism, it's not just that, because even in here, you will learn that when the Draconians, that's the high level beings, right? When the Draconians came to Earth 1 million years ago, they had done experiments with that dinosaur DNA. Okay? And so that's what these beings are. They were seated on Earth. Dinosaurs are ETs, man. They were put here. It's a fallen angelic project. That's why we had dinosaurs here. And so there is reptilians in the universe. Just like there's bird creatures in the universe, there's feline creatures, mammal creatures in the universe, hominids with 2 arms, 2 legs. There's insectoid creatures in the universe. Like I got this plague of crickets I've talked to you guys about. Well, there's all these little creatures, all these little insects on our planet. They're coming from the DNA, from the higher DNA. Their divine blueprint is also in the 12th dimension. The insect DNA, divine blueprint, 12th dimension. The fish has a divine blueprint. The lobster, the deer, the dolphin, they all have a higher DNA template. What we see, what we experience, are distortions of distortions of distortions of distortions of these beings. So of course they look like an animal. Of course they look like a little birdie. A little whatever. You know, all life down here has portions of their consciousness up there. You see, you guys, we come from the top. We're not evolving from apes. Evolution was everything became evolved. Everything was perfect and evolved. What we see down here is de-evolution of that. Does that make sense? We're the result of de-evolution. The birds, the reptiles on Earth are results of de-evolution. Okay? Same with any life down here. This is de-evolved versions of higher versions. Down steps. These are down-stepped consciousness, lower consciousness with less DNA. Remember, when you fall, you lose DNA strands. So if you had 12 strands and then fell to the 11th dimension, you only have 11 strands. You fell to the 9th dimension, you only have 9 strands now. You fell to the 6th dimension, well, now you have only 6 strands. You're still immortal, but you still only have 6 levels. Now you fell to the 3D human level. Now, dang. Now you're aging and dying. You're definitely a distortion of our true selves up there. Up there we're giants. Up there we have 6 fingers on one hand and 6 toes. We're breatharians. We're totally different than we are here. We don't look like this. On Earth, we look like this. Okay? So it's the same with animals. It's the same with insects. A praying mantis, it's one of those athean beings. You see a praying mantis in this world, it's a little tiny version because it's got a little tiny DNA, 2 strands, or less. Our little praying mantises have around 2 strands of DNA. That's the insect kingdom. The Athean has 48 strands of DNA. It looks different. It thinks different. It's a whole nother planet. It's a whole nother reality. So you can take that concept with any species, any life form. Same with the reptilians. You see a little lizard? That little lizard, gecko, salamander, was that a reptile? Gila monster, whatever. I mean, you guys in the comments start naming some reptilian creatures, reptiles. Reptiles are coming from Omicron dragomoths and Odedicrons. And there's various species of benevolent reptilians, benevolent reptiles. Remember I showed you the diagram. There is peaceful ones, peaceful reptilians who didn't fall or didn't go to the dark side, right? Leo, yeah, well, that's because, now you are aware. You become aware because you're gravitating towards that. You come in as a starseed or indigo child, you're gravitating naturally to the law of one, to the emerald order guardian teachings. Okay? You're getting pulled away from, you're not interested as much in the religion. You're not as interested as much in distorted teachings in New Age. Your soul, even archangelic or oversoul, part of you is guiding you towards these type of teachings naturally. You came in with that DNA and maybe you're not aware of it. A lot of people are sleeping, sleeping indigos, sleeping starseeds. So we start, your searches, you did searches on the internet, searches on YouTube. They brought you to this information because of your searches, because of your, this is why I always say, maybe you guys don't agree with everything, but there's something here you do resonate with. That's why you have a resonance to something. And maybe part of you later will agree with some of the other things we're talking about. Because I've seen messages, you guys, from some of you say, I used to not like you at all, or your information, I thought it was all BS. But as I was getting in New Age, I started coming back to what you were saying, and I realized that this is my truth. So some people didn't agree, now do agree. So, and remember, we're not pushing it. We're not trying to convert you. This is no dogma. That should be a positive sign versus a negative red flag sign, right? Thank you for those hearts. Who's doing that? Are you doing that? Who's doing that? All these hearts flying, emojis, smileys flying upward. Someone's doing that. Damn, look at that. I can do it too. Wait. Here's some hearts. I love you too. Look at that. Hey, in modern society, we can communicate with emojis. So, but yeah, you guys. So we know, just from what we talked about tonight, that the reptilians are going to be up and inside our faces. And in the parallel earth, they see them in the open. They're on planet, and you're in martial law. This is what it's been described to us. And so it will, same thing happen here. This is why we know eventually these beings are going to land here. I mean, they're already here in underground bases and stuff, but, and they're probably out here outside of, you can phase your ship outside of the 3D fields and be outside the fields and not be noticed. That's like a form of invisibility. Okay? And this is normal rocket science to these people, to these beings. It's no problem going through portals or stargates. It's no problem being invisible to you, to be cloaked or anything. It's not a problem for these beings. If they can make stargates from the Phantom Matrix, you know they know some shit about science and technology that we're not even privy to or aware of. And so, I mean, the fact of the matter is, we got secret space program, we got secret technologies, we got med beds. That stuff is available, just not available to the surface planet, the surface humans. You have to be some special elite class, some billionaire. Forget millionaires, you got to be billionaire or something, you know, to be part of that club of knowledge and awareness, access to certain tech, in certain information where they tell us it's conspiracy theory. Now it's got a taboo on it. Now most humans don't, if it's got a taboo, they don't want to get involved in it. They would be embarrassed to talk about aliens or something like that. But a lot of you guys are getting it. You get it. You're on your way to understanding this information. Michelle De Souza. I met someone named De Souza at one of these UFO conventions. He was actually a former FBI agent, and I bought his books. If you're related to him, let me know in the comments. Zach Beal TV. Unless I said it wrong. Love your stuff. Been a fan for a while. Wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on the moon? What is going on up there? Don't mean to get off topic, but have wanted to ask for this while. Actually, believe it or not, that's on topic. Thank you for asking, Zach. And thank you for the donation. Bless you for that exchange of energy. When you guys donate, it's an energy blessing. Exchange of energy. Thank you so much. I do the service and you guys exchange the energy. Thank you so much. Good question, by the way, because there's a lot of distortion out there. Now, I've heard this from many different sources, you guys. Many different sources. Even Lisa Renee talks about this. You can go find it. She has a whole article on it. Let me it's in the Ascension Glossary site. It takes literally a few seconds. I just go put the word moon and it takes you right to the moon. So this is another guardian telling you about the moon. And so this is Lisa Renee's site. And you can look up that. And she has a whole ton of information. I don't agree with everything she talks about, but this is one of the things I agree about. The moon is a fake moon. It's not a real moon. It's not natural. It's not a natural orbit either. Why scientists and NASA doesn't talk about it, but you can see that other planets, other moons don't have eclipses. We humans are in awe. It's so cool when the moon is either eclipsed, or it's a full moon, and they're sending their rituals and their spells, and it's in the astrology charts, it's in your birth chart. People are making it in their birth chart. You're getting entangled with a fake moon, which is weaponized to give us extra. They do things with the artificial magnetism. The moon produces magnetism, but it's an artificial magnetism. It's an artificial construct. It's not a real moon. And it's also planet Nibiru is the same thing, because the real Nibiru fell into Phantom a long time ago. Now we got a artificial Nibiru in our solar system. This is why the planet Nibiru can move. Move as in travel, artificially travel. But realize that there's all kinds of, even the SSP talks about it as being a command center. The military uses it. The secret military, the secret space program is it is an ET reptilian Zeta Gray base. Of course, other beings. It's kind of like Star Trek Deep Space Nine. You think of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, kind of like the moon. It's a base where other ETs can come and go. Even government officials come and go. Just realize that the ones who control it, or the main ones, are the Reptilians and Zeta Gray aliens. It's an outpost. It's a ship. It's a doom star. I mean, it's not the Nibiru doom star, but it's like a technology. It's hollowed out. It's a base. There is plenty of footage that you can find on the internet of UFOs being seen coming out of the moon. And this whole BS that we only see one side of the moon. What's up with that? Do you think that's normal? Do you think that's natural? It's not normal. You will try to explain it by some geophysical physics and mechanics. What's happening is artificial. Thank you for those hearts, by the way, Holy One. Give me a hug. A real tight, close hug. But yeah, you guys, see, we're like, that's some discernment there. But there is so much BS about the moon. And it fits right into that. People are coming out with this flat earth theory. But we're not talking about that. We're just talking about the artificial moon. And how if you look at Lisa Renee's article, she goes in more into detail, but realize that there has been plenty of photographs. Do you not think we don't have any telescopes that could see on the moon? There has been footage of advanced technological sites, pyramids even on the Earth, the face. Oceana talks about the face on the moon. So, yeah, this is going to be a big conspiracy theory. People have debates about it. I'm just telling you, like, for example, Lisa Renee's a Guardian, and she talks about it as being a fake moon too. And so, I personally have not heard any information from Oceana, and I looked in the PDFs. I don't see it, but there's enough information talking about how it's a fake moon. And so it's a base. And now what else to say about it? So there's ancient information or history or documents that talk about there was no moon before. Now we have a moon throughout history. You know, when did it come here? Just like they talk about Tiamat. Tiamat was one of the planets that used to exist in our solar system. Now it was destroyed, and you see proof of that. There's proof of the destruction of another planet. It's called the asteroid belt. A bunch of pieces of a destroyed planet. What is the asteroid belt? What are those rocks? What is that material? It's the remains of a destroyed planet in orbit around the sun. So this is a lot of mysteries about our solar system, you guys. This is why I encourage you to check out Cosmic Disclosure. It's a show on Gaia. I'm not saying everything on Gaia is true, but Cosmic Disclosure is going to tell you about all kinds of stuff about the moon. It's a freaking amazing show. I don't have enough time to watch all of it, but what I'm saying is there's like, 20, 30 seasons? That's insane. But yeah, anyways, you'll learn a ton of stuff from that show. But anyways, I believe it's fake. People can disagree. When there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories about the moon, what are you going to do? You can't prove it to someone when there's too much doubt. There's too much doubt. What do you believe? Okay? When I know from the Emerald Order teachings that they took over Phantom Earth, they've been to Mars, they talk about these beings being on Mars, there's faces on Mars, the Mars face. That's what I meant to say earlier. The Mars face. There is talk about it. In Voyagers, look. Let's look at it in Voyagers. And we'll also look for the word moon and see what they say. So let's go to the PDF. Let me put my glasses on. I'll first put in moon, see if it says anything. I don't think so. 7 results. Let's see what it says. This is not what we were trying to think of. Bright moon halos or 2 moons in the sky. Yeah, this is something to do with ascension, not about what we're trying to do. What is this? This contrived anomaly of planetary physics would cause part of Earth's body to burn up, while the portions that survive black hole transition would emerge in density 2 as the inhabitable moon into Nibiru. Oh, that's not the same thing. Sun turned black, the moon turned red. Oh, that's the... Yeah, so they don't talk about it in Voyagers, but let me put the Mars. I might have to check. Ooh, 11 results. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Maldak. You see? I'm not making this up. I just said that right now. They call it Maldak. But it's also called, what I mentioned earlier, but it says imploded to become the asteroid belt. Hello, 12 planets in the solar system, not 9. And then they want to say Jupiter, or not, I mean, Pluto is not a real planet, so only 8 planets. BS. The Guardians remind us that it includes the sun as a body, celestial body, as one of these planet things or whatever, but also the destroyed Maldak, and also the Nibiru that the science calls Planet X. So, but this isn't what I was trying to find, but there we go, a reference to what I just mentioned, Maldak. Planet Mars. Oh, this isn't centered. Let me go out a little bit. Which later evolved. They had once evolved, the Anunnaki. The Syrian Anunnaki once lived on Mars. Oh, gee. And now it's a conspiracy theory that there's aliens on Mars or life on Mars. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy fact. Anunnaki of the Syrian Council were first sent to planet Mars. So the Guardian Anunnaki, who were once good, came to the Mars to create an observational outpost. So Earth is the seeded planet, but we went to Mars too. During the 1,000 Years' War, which is talked about in these teachings. Okay, around 12,500 years ago, the Anunnaki resistance, there we go, again, talking about the Anunnaki related to Mars, angered by the loss of their stronghold in Atlantis, that's when the Guardians took it back. They launched an aggressive airstrike against the Syrian Council Anunnaki, the positive ones at the time, outposts on Mars. So there was destruction on Mars because of right here. Right here, you're seeing why there's destruction or problems on Mars or whatever. Now it's like a lifeless planet, right? They're mentioning the Ark of the Covenant, by the way. Let me see what else. Is that it? The Zeta Gray, which we're talking about, and the Reptilians, right? We're involved with the Atlantean and Atlantean Earth cultures. Remember, you see, we had space colonization in Atlantis. We had advanced technologies and we were going into space in the Atlantean days, which was in the ancient days. So this whole thing about Tataria has some merit to it. Realize that we didn't have what we call the frequency fence. We had extraterrestrial contact in the open, visiting us, spaceships coming and going. We had our own spaceships coming and going. But this was obviously a long time ago, and now things have been just fallen. So in technology, now we're like cavemen finding fire for the first time. Mars base. Mars base and the Sphinx, Giza, Great Pyramid, teleport station. OMG, there we go. It was what? That's one of the purposes of the pyramid. It was 46,000 years ago. It was a teleport station. We have a lot of mysteries on our planet, and people want proof. There's all kinds of proof, baby. What's up? Just open your eyes and take a look around at all these mysteries. Not mysteries. The Mars base again, destroyed. I got to zoom out to read it. Once again, talking about it being destroyed. Their invasion was squelched. There's those two wormholes they created in Atlantis. They're called Phoenix wormhole and Falcon, associated with Atlantis, associated with the Bermuda Triangle, which I mentioned earlier. Earth to Mars, Earth to Tara. Machu Picchu. Ooh, Machiwa. I've been there. There we go. Okay. So I just wanted to show that so people realize it from the Guardian content. It's already 9 o'clock my time, you guys. I'm gonna be finishing up in the next 10 minutes, okay? 10 more minutes. So, this is always popular. Did you notice we got up to 150 people tonight? So this is obviously a popular topic. And so, but yeah. If you guys have any last minute questions, let me know. Just tag my name in it. Christos Avatar in the name. Tag Christos Avatar. And, but you guys, just know that you can study these teachings. You don't have to wait on me to create videos. This is, remember, hundreds of workshops. You can find some of them. Just find some of them. Your soul will guide you to what you need to see. It's part you. It's your higher self. I'm refreshing the screen. And so, you guys smash that like button. Hit that like, Hulk smash that like button. Chka. Make sure you become a subscriber. Share this content, by the way. I don't share that very often. But you guys, it would help if you share the content. Share. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed to share a video saying, I uncovered the truth about reptilians. Don't be shy. Don't be worried about people, that's what people do, is they try to shame you. Make you look like, they call you stupid, call you an idiot. You got to know how to transmute those people. Machiwa. Yeah. And Michelle, actually some people say they found Ashana because of me. And then people say, oh, they found me because of Ashana. I mean, finding her work first and then came to my work. So yeah, it's all this beautiful connection, and we're all finding each other and finding our truth, okay? Finding the Guardian teachings, finding our history. For example, finding out the truth about reptilians, because there's all kinds of distortions about them, man. I mean, maybe some of you didn't hear that these dinosaurs we had on our planet are not from our world. We're all ETs. We're not from Earth either. So we come from a planet called Tara, from another dimension. And so this is our true heritage. We're much more ancient than Sumer. We come from the stars, buddy. We come from another timeline. We're super ancient. Not super ancient. These reptilians are super ancient. We're like 560. We're still a baby race. Thank you, Helena. Bless you, Star Sister. You're always full of happy energies. And you guys, life is not perfect. We're not perfect. We know we have perfect versions, though. There is such thing as perfect consciousness and perfect body forms. It exists. We just are trying to reclaim that. Thank you, Indigo Wizard, for being here, brother. Bless you, and Celine. Sometimes little aliens here, and Starman visits us about a few times a year. Like, even when he's not having issues, he doesn't come all the time, but bless Starman and whatever he's going through. You guys can send him prayers, send him positive energies. I don't think he wants everyone to know all the details of what's going on, so I respect that. But just know that he might need some prayer. But bless all of you guys, and thank all of you who are members. Those of you who do not know it, all the people with green words or usernames, they're members. They're supporting this work. You can support this work too by becoming a member. Remember that once you do, you have access to our chat server on Discord. We have several rooms there, and you can chat in general and ask questions and get answers and share and get links to PDFs to some of these hundreds of workshops. I don't even know of 100 workshops. I only know like 50 workshops or less. So I don't know them all either. That's why we're collaborating. We're collaborating, homies, and sharing. It's a group thing, not a me thing. It's not an Ashiana. It's not about her. We love her. Okay? But it's not about her. It's about the Emerald Order teachings. It's about all of us. It's about the human race. Remember, all 3D humans have a 12-strand sleeping DNA too. They just need to learn how to activate it step by step. And so thank you for whoever was sending all those emojis, positive love and heart. You know, there's such thing as karma. I made a video about it, but there's also such thing as good karma. You know, you send love into the world. What do you think you get back? You send a grumpy, judgmental attitude into the world. What do you think you get back, right? You are what you think. You think what you do. I mean, you are what you do, so be mindful of what you think and do. So thank you guys for joining tonight's live. I always try to find some common ground with people with different beliefs. I hope I did a good enough job to answer some of your questions. If not, you can send me a direct message or make a comment on this video, and I'll see it and reply. Check out some of my videos. I realized that I probably won't be making videos on weekends anymore. I think only Monday through Friday, because I think the metrics are too low on weekends. So I made a video about something recently, but I'll post it on Monday. So thank you guys for being here with me. A lot of you are awakening, going through your awakening. We're not experts. We're not masters. We're not perfect. We never said we are, but we are aiming high, baby. We're becoming our highest versions. We're reclaiming our true heritage. We're dropping codes. We're sharing codes. What's up, spiritual gangsters, spiritual G's, gangsters in Christ, the Christos, innerchristos, inner God. Send out peace into the world. Omni-love, omni-Christos love, homies. That means you love all, at least trying to. You could love even a fallen angel, have heart to heart for them. You know, we're not saying pity or judgment. No, you love all beings. We know and recognize that all these reptilians wanting to harm us and take us over, they're just lost in their consciousness. They're part of the unified field. They're within the field of God. Field of God. You know, so bless all beings, bless all life. God is great. And we connect to that the original intention of Creator God, which is a God of joy, not judgment. A God of love, not hate or murder or death or sacrifice. Our God is the God of life, the living God, divine being, who loves unconditionally, who doesn't judge, who doesn't place any, boundaries or just on itself. You can't be connected to God unless you're go through repentance and all that. Transmute. I love you guys. And you could have a reptilian guardian. There is positive dragons. We're not saying all dragons and reptilians are bad. That's not what we said tonight. If you were listening, peace and love to you guys. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll, baby. What's up? Bringing that Christ consciousness, that omni-Christos love. We're the way shores. We're the trailblazers. Okay? Sending out the inner Christos message, not the punish judgment message. All right, you guys. Namaste. Shaddai Ure Akumtan. Shaddai Ure Akumtan. Shaddai Ure Akumtan. I am Christar. I am Christar. I am Christar. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. See that, feel that, know that. And it is so you connect to that part of yourself, your Christ consciousness, your 12th dimensional consciousness. Peace, homies! Have lucid dreams. Good night, you guys. Machiwa. Masutas.